What is up, winning team? I'm coming to you in my last few minutes before I have to return to adult. My next batch of adults for the day, right? And it's so funny because I've just had a lot of random thoughts as I'm wrapping up because I have to, go and, adult. And I was just thinking, before I even had the idea to make this video, I was watching these kids and I was thinking about faith and having childlike faith and how cute it was. These kids, because it's like the time now when the kids are finishing school, hence why I have organized my day in such a way so that I could avoid, anyway. And I always think it's so cute how kids just be living, just going about their day, straggling behind, going forward, doing whatever. They have not a care in the world. They have no idea the world they're living in and the risks. And they shouldn't have to because they're kids. They're children. There are people who are supposed to adult on their behalf, and therefore they get to just live, right? Which is what I feel like is having a relationship with God. Hence why I say I have to go adult, because to me, I spend more time enjoying the blessings of honestly being with the Lord, and adulting sucks. And I was just thinking, the word adult is actually a verb, especially because you see a lot of adults are not even really adults like that. Because this is my other thing with just the adult population. You guys know I just have not really many nice things to say, and I say all the time how I feel like adults are just kids with pride added. Big kids, big children. And there's actually a name for that, by the way. And once I hear this phrase again, and it's something to do with how, if certain things happen in certain people's childhoods, then you essentially stunt your mental maturity is stunted, and then you just grow up. And this is why I don't blindly believe in respecting elders, because I feel like elders historically were respected because elders were actually elder adults with actual wisdom and experience, and they were actually people to look up to, right? So that's why we respected elders, not just because they're older. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I digress. This is what I'm saying is why it's hard to have childlike faith, because I was thinking earlier, it's not even 5 p.m., right? And since the sun has risen, how many times have I been out with the Lord, even if it's just for 30 minutes? It's probably more than 5. It's crazy. Anytime I have a little pocket of time, even if it's right now, just a little pocket of time, I'm going to take it. Earlier when I was talking with the Lord, right, I was thinking about how arguably I would actually say that my faith is actually less now as an adult than it was as a child when I had known God less long. I have way more of a robust relationship with him now and more assurance of it. But as a kid, I had the childlike faith of just the blind trust. But now it's almost I'm so adult that it's really hard. And this is the thing about having faith. It's really hard, when you take on the responsibility of yourself and your loved ones and the people around you, to also be able to then develop a relationship with God where you actually get to feel like his child and you allow him to be the adult for you on your behalf. It's really hard. It's really, really hard. And it's especially hard because, again, the standard of adults is in the bin. So what we see as adulting, as far as the world is concerned, in my opinion, the standards are they're beneath Hades. They're beneath the second death. You know what I mean? So that's what makes it hard. I get it. I'm an adult now and I have responsibilities and I have to be responsible. Hence why I can't just stay frolicking out in the freaking forest like I want to and bring out a speaker and just buy some snacks and just hold a vibe. That's what I do right now. I'm not even in the running around mood. I'm just in the chill amongst nature, amongst creation, amongst the animals with the Lord. But I can't do that, right? You know why? Because I'm an adult. So I must go and adult. I must go and, do these things that I must be responsible for and make decisions that will cost me in this life. And therefore, when I'm now having to put my faith into God, this is what I was saying to him. I was like, God, you know what's crazy about being a believer is that a lot of times our faith is costing us either walking out as the villain or the hero, and there's no in between, because we're either going to make a choice to trust you, right, which is not the adult thing to do. That's not how adults do, right? Children just get to be dependents, right? They're dependents. They're the strongest form of dependent, and that's why I believe that they're not looked after in this world anymore as well, because obviously they're the hardest thing ever, and people these days don't want to do hard work. We don't need to say it. We just would rather all just make the excuse that this is what happened before. This is what happened before. This is what happened before. So let's just keep hitting the repeat. Let's just keep hitting the song on repeat, right? Instead of like changing the trajectory of, not even just society, your own legacy, your own bloodline. But let's not get too much into that, because that's another whole side conversation that we could be having. My point being an adult makes it hard to trust God. It's one of the things I said to you guys before. Imagine you're like Abraham. We live such comfortable lives now because we go to jobs and we pay our bills and we do the work. You know what I mean? We show up at 6 a.m. then we leave at, 4 p.m. and we go to our hours. We put in our hours. We submit that. We get paid. We pay our bills. We open our freaking letters. We pay our taxes. We pay our insurance. We pay our health insurance and all these things. And we make sure that our life is in order. And so it's really easy for us in modern society to struggle to actually have any trust in God, because we are so used to being so independent. And that's the thing that I've realized makes it hard about faith, and why God says to have childlike faith. Like these children I just saw, I nearly had a freaking heart attack. Right? Obviously their parents were there, but like where they were about to cross, and I was just watching them very carefully, because these two little boys, they were so cute, by the way. These two little boys, they were on their scooters, and they were like at the edge of the road. They weren't going to cross the road, but they were waiting at the road, I think, for their mums to come over. And I could see from where they were, there was a car coming around the corner. And I was thinking, I hope, and I was just like watching everything. Like, this is what I'm saying. This stuff stresses me out. But anyway, the kids were fine. They were waiting for their parents, as they should do, because they're being smart and they're being obedient children, as we're supposed to be to the Lord. Again, back to having childlike faith. I can't believe we're really having police vans in this town. It's giving London. Like, when I grew up in this town, I never used to see a police officer, right? But then when I was in London, and especially some of the streets I lived on, like in some of the places, it wasn't, where are the police? Are there police? Is it the normal police car? Is it the freaking undercover cops, CID coming out in their normal civilians? Is it the freaking fake nitties? As in nitties is like a word for like addict. Is it like one of the fake nitties? There was this woman who used to live on my road, and she was definitely undercover cop, and she'd try and pretend like she was like homeless, and it was not giving, like, sister. Anyway, then you got the big bully vans, then you got the Serco vans taking people to prison. That was in London. Here, we will never see. Now I'm seeing police vans. For what? On a Monday afternoon, my friends. That's crazy. Anyway, what was I saying about adulting? Yeah. Those kids, right? Trusting in their parents and whatnot. That's what God wants us to be like with him. He doesn't want us to look at our lives and be like, be so quick to just do things and make our own decisions in our own right. And that's what I've learned from Adam and Eve. That Adam and Eve, like, do you know what hit me the other day? I don't see the word adult in the Bible. I don't see it there. And like, this is what I'm trying to say. So even this whole construct, it's almost like a societal construct even, that there's somehow we've decided as humans that you get to a point where you now have the capabilities to know what to do alone, even though in the first 3 chapters of the Bible, it is proven that that will not happen. And if you've read the Bible, it is never going to happen. If you've looked in history, for goodness sake, and if you look at the world, that is never going to happen, right? And the elephant in the room amongst adults is that ain't nobody know what the hell anyone's actually doing, for real. And this is what I'm saying, but we're so used to trusting in the world. This is what I'm saying, it's just like Egypt. Right? We're used to like, okay, we'd rather be a slave and at least know that if I do this, I get that, right? Even if it's through slavery, than trusting God who says to Abraham, go where? Where I'm telling you to go. Where is that? Where you need to go. He's like, okay, where is it where I need to go? Where you need to go. Okay, but how am I going to get there? Just go. Like, you should read the scriptures. It's quite funny. And you know what I mean? It's like, what? And this is why a lot of times God doesn't tell us the full picture, because if we knew, like, imagine God tells Joseph, right? Like, right after Joseph has his dream, and then Joseph wakes up, right? And then he's all excited about the dream. And then God's like, but by the way, before that, your brothers are all going to turn on you and try to kill you. And then they're going to try to dispose of you into this. And then you're going to be sold as a slave. And then you're going to go and be working, and then somebody, a poor man's wife, is going to try to sleep with you, and then she's going to lie, even though you're going to deny it. She's going to lie and say you did, and then you're going to go to prison. And then the prison part, but obviously God knows what he's doing and why he's doing it. And this is where, again, you have to have the childlike faith of like, well, no, this is God, and this is who God is, and I trust him even if I'm not aware there's a freaking car coming around the thing, like just happened. And that's why I feel like it's hard to have childlike faith. It really is, because we're so used to, as humans, having so much control. Honestly, this isn't actually, let me be careful not to go too close there while I'm still talking. Let me go back here just a little bit. This is why I have issues. I don't like to talk to people about my plans, because the God's honest truth is I'm trying to de-plan as much as possible. What do I mean by that? Like, rather than doing what everybody else is doing and what makes sense in other people's minds, to just like look at everything with your own wisdom and make decisions and believe that you're making the best decisions you can, when you physically are incapable of having the ability to make the best decisions that you need to make, just like a child. I honestly, a lot of things in life, I'm just trusting in the Lord for. Like, and it's just crazy. It's a crazy time. But I'm trying really hard. And even, like I said, even I'm acknowledging that. Even to me, somebody who is a professing believer and is close with the Lord, now as an adult, being an adult has made having faith the way I've had it severely more difficult. Like, I know if I was facing everything that's happening right now in my life at 16, I would not be holding anything back. I'll be running in guns blazing. But because I'm an adult and I'm adulting, right? I'm anxiety over everything, and it's just But yeah, I just thought I would drop that in, because I just had that thought just now as I was just observing the kids, while I'm now switching from my enjoying time with the Lord to going to adult again for however many hours, probably into the late night. Why? Because that's what I have to do, because I've so-called graduated to that stage, whatever that means, because that's also not in the Bible. And these are just the conversations I don't feel like the body of Christ is happy to have. And I feel like it goes back to what I said earlier. Adults are just children with pride added. I just think the adults of today do not have the humility to say, I have no idea what to do, and I am scared, like a child would. They would rather do everything you can. Like, it's like when I meet people who have all this knowledge about the Bible, all this knowledge about science, all this knowledge about history. And I'm like, and tell me how that has solved every solution in your life right now. Because if that's just random knowledge, then you're just trying to give yourself something to feel good about yourself for, to hide the fact that you are just another human being who cannot solve every issue in this world or get everything together or everything in order without the Lord. So what use was all that knowledge? What use was all that power? What use was all that money? This is why those things don't mean nothing to me, nothing at all, because what use is being rich, powerful, famous, smart, intelligent, whatever, if you're still going to take an L from the kingdom of darkness at the end of the day, because the only way you take the W is you got to work with the Lord. And you got to follow the Lord and be a child of the Lord and have childlike faith. Guys, I'm dropping actual truth today. Anywho, I'm going to go an adult. So, if life is a game, let's play to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.